Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have the NA House Divided Campaign Server number 2 battle for you. It should be a good one. We have two awesome maps. The first one being Boulevard Heights Redoubt that you're seeing an overview of right now. Kind of a fortish-like map. And then our second map is Maryland Heights, a map that I have appreciated more and more as time has gone on. And with that being said, our teams for today on the USA campaign, we have Hood's Division, 17th Michigan, 42nd PA, and the 83rd Pennsylvania. Whereas on the Confederacy, we have Sussy Brigade, which consists of 1st Maryland, 5th Florida, 5th North Carolina, and the 1st Delaware. Along with Sussy Brigade, we have I-Corps, which consists of the Anderson's Brigade and the Walker's Division. Now, moving on to our overview of the campaign, you can see that we're focusing on the 17th Michigan and the Sussy Brigade piece in the middle of the map, but there is also the other battle happening between the 2nd Mississippi and the Old Guard on the very bottom of the map. To watch the coordination and see how everything works, especially for this week's stuff, there's a link in the description to that coordination stream. And with that all being said, I hope you enjoy this HDC battle. Here we are with Boulevard Heights Redoubt. I don't think I've ever covered this in a regimental setting before, so it will be very fun to watch. It's also just a fun map in general because Confederates have to charge a fort, and that's more rare in this game if you even want to consider this a fort. It's more like, I guess you can call it a fort. It's a redoubt, but this is the most fort-like map other than rivers crossing in Burnside's Bridge. So, as you can see, Confederates have already been moving out very, very quickly in this round. You have kind of two prongs going here. Let's go through each of these prongs. In this left-turn prong, we have 5th NC, 5th Florida, and 1st Delaware. It's basically most of Sussy Brigade. Up on top, we have I-Corps, and I assume 1st Maryland is up here as well. Cheeto is leading this charge for the CSA. CSA being very aggressive on this map. You love to see that aggression out of a team. Yeah, especially on a bigger map like this. You can't sit back and shoot. It doesn't make sense. It's pointless. So, applause to the CSA for being aggressive. They're probably trying to regroup there and will quickly. In the meantime, we have HD holding up in front here with some artillery from the HD. On this far right side, we see the 42nd Pennsylvania with the 83rd Pennsylvania on the left to make sure CSA don't flank. But no CSA are there. So, unfortunately, that little flank will have to pull off in a moment. I hope they do. As we could see, so that left-turn CSA prong led by 1st Delaware Haunts is beginning to push out left. That center prong is now looping up with them, and the whole CSA team is trying to hit the Union on this far left position. They're trying to avoid the massive lines. As you could see, Union has not really reacted on the right side. I mean, 83rd Pennsylvania has moved over, but this prong down here is continuing to engage hard. And they take their shots far away. They charge in. I would not suggest shooting like that before charging in. I would save your shots so you get point blank like this, and then you can shoot them. Confederates breaking off into two prongs here. Their first prong is charging straight into this group, while the other prong is distracting the rest of the Union forces, which I think is very, very smart, because now the Confederates will be able to easily win over here and get a firm position in this little redoubt, this little defilade, this little area of cover. They have flags here. They'll constantly get men here. They'll constantly respawn. Very well done. They get a firm position before the rest of the Union wipe their friendlies, and as you can see, they wipe their friendlies. You can also notice how a Confederate skirmish group is the part of 14th Tennessee has gotten behind the Union line. They're just going to be distracting like that little prong did. And the Confederates are now charging a little server lag. You'd love to see that. But yeah, this is huge. It's going to be very hard for the Union to regain this position without taking a lot of casualties. So CSA have done a heck of a job. They didn't lose their flags. They have their flags. They're in formation. They're going to be spawning. Each flag's going to be spawning a man every 10 or so seconds. And these out of line that the Union are going in here, that's going to hurt your team a lot. That's not some minor thing. I mean, those were 4 out of line tickets there. More Union beginning to charge in here. I don't know. It's going to be kind of close. If all Union charged, they would be able to push the Confederates off. But you can see the Union on the right are just sitting and shooting while this Union respawn group is charging in. Confederates should be able to hold out against this Union respawn, except now we can see more Union charging in here from the respawn and from the left group. And they're going to completely wipe this Confederate force. What the heck happened to that body? Yeah, Union is going to keep chasing the Confederates here. The flags are trying to get away. Those flags are very pivotal for the Confederate push. I think only one of them is going to be able to get away. No way that top one there gets away. That Confederate's got a blind. Hey, he saves the flag, but yep, only one flag is able to get away. Maybe not. Zapstar gets a shot off. We'll see if Kirby even takes a shot here. I don't know, but Union are basically thwarting the Confederates of this push. 14th Tennessee is now falling back, trying to avoid casualties. With that being said, Union hold. Well done, Union, trying to retake that. It's very hard to retake it after losing it and be effective, and they did that. CSA really spread out. I think they wanted to try to get back up there as quickly as they could, but Union retook it. Usually we don't see Union retake that effectively. So, yeah. Well done to the Union. I'm not going to be surprised. Confederates will probably hit the same thing again. And so far, the Union has decided to see where they're at. You see some 17th Michigan and the 42nd PA holding there as well. But Confederates all coming in from Maine, regrouping on these rocks here with their flag. You can see they're waving their flags. They're able to pick up all 3 flags. Their 4th flag is here. What are these guys doing? No way you can push the artillery up top.
Can you, if you do this, man, I'm gonna keep you in your fucking mouth.
We've done it before.
Use your do it.
Come on! Yeah, I'm gonna put my cock into it. Here we go. Let's go.
What?
What?
Get the pickup truck. Let's go. Get the winch.
I'm very intrigued by this story here.
We need a third.
Let's check if anything's happening overhead, because if something is, we should probably pay attention to that. You see the rebel Rambo there. Not dying. Union taking independent shots at the bottom of the hill. We'll check back in with these guys, because this is a pivotal, part of this battle. Yeah, who do we have here? We have Randon trying to sit the flag. So the Rebel Rambo knocks the Union down to engage. Hood thought he could stop him, but he did not. That is a shame. These Rebel Rambos. Actually, these are the skirmishers for the 5th NC. I take the statement back. Maybe not. We have Pops from the regular show. Just minding his own business, taking a lovely stroll here on the Boulevard Heights readout. Anyways, back to the line. Confederates reforming. Playing some lovely music here. Forming the lines. You can see Union, it's very hard for the Union to see. Very hard. So now the Confederates are beginning to push out. Again, push the far left side. Let's check back in to see if the Union is doing to respond to this. Oh no, no way, no way, no way. So 42nd PA is holding over here. This is going to suck. The Confederates are going to charge in right as the Union tries to get this cannon over. You can see HD are taking some shots. 42nd PA is also rising up, taking shots. The Confederates very spread out. That second group in the back is now beginning to charge. The Confederates, instead of just charging in one place, are charging on a more broad front. Union now countercharging. I don't like that. Because you can see these guys in the middle are getting out of line and skirmishing deaths. Confederates are going down to engage here. I do not like Union running out there because they're getting skirmishing and out of line deaths. Let the Confederates come over the berm towards you. You do not need to be charging out like this. I guess they're trying to do what they did last time and prevent the Confederates from getting a stronghold. Because look at that. Confederates can just sit here and keep getting respawns, which is probably why they are charging out. But at the same time, that can be very, bad for your team if you don't do it correctly. Where'd the plane go? I'm getting there. Oh. No way. Oh, no. No, they're so close. They are so close. Let's quickly check back over here. Confederates coming back in.
I can't.
Haunt's saving his men. They are reforming. I don't know why they aren't falling a little more back.
Yeah, I think we wiped out our chain of command immediately.
Come on.
Alright, let's
Oh, you were close, Matt. It's next time.
we were close.
Go get it.
Alright, let's try here.
Hit him again, boys. I know we can break them.
Hey, did they get that gun out?
Jesus Christ.
So,
They're still
Union
working
is
for us.
able to hold both sides going down to engage. Union is doing a pretty good job overall. They have forced the Confederates to leave those positions, those secure positions, twice now, which is huge. Of course, they need to avoid skirmishing out of line when doing so. Yeah, if they did that, Union has a perfect winning strategy here. Confederates should have probably just all charged. I guess they did all charge in one area. They just charged in one little area instead. We do see some independent fire.
West.
Yeah,
West,
keep that in mind.
West, northwest.
West, northwest.
I don't know if this is a
Going
really
in.
good observation.
You can see some Confederate Rambos here getting some shots. Confederates actually kind of close to the top of the hill here. Checking back on this cannon.
Just does not want. Maybe if we reverse them. Do you remember whether we reversed or did this
You see the
forward?
42nd PA over on the left side running out. They're doing rising
Reversing up
volleys
kind
to
of
kill
helps,
some
at least with bringing
CSA.
the others uphill.
Yeah, precise. Let's try reversing up.
Alright, so another failed attempt. They'll get it this time. So yeah, as Union, I don't know why they'd be doing rising volleys. You're risking taking losses, and Confederates are just going to get those guys back right away. They have 3 or 4 flags here. Confederates splitting off in the back there to 2 different prongs. Very interesting, and because the Confederates are getting close, we can see that the HD is adjusting to the Union here, which is a good idea on the Confederates' part. So, with this all being said, I want to see what the Confederates are thinking here, right? So, we have I-Corps on the far left, and I'm guessing Sussy Brigade is on the right. Sussy is going for the center. In the center, they will break. So that's probably their thinking. You can see this gap in the area. That is where they're going to go. They're still doing artillery over there. Sussy Brigade's charging in. I-Corps is still not moved in. You can see Hood's division now repositioning themselves to help the 83rd Pennsylvania with trying to hold. I-Corps now pushing in. His CSA triple in charge is not good to start. They all need to go in. They can't sit back and shoot. It's not going to hit much. We can see the 42nd PA on the top of your screen trying to get some flank around this Confederate force here. A lot of Confederates bunched in the center here. Oh my goodness, the guys. He sounds like a map. But Union going down, I'm not surprised by that. Union is trying to thwart the Confederates out, and I don't blame them. It's not a bad, I think it's what you need to do to win. However, trying to avoid skirmishing and out of line is key. Like, this stuff here is just hurting your team. Those 3 guys are dying out of line. But Union is going to be able to hold this position in the end. And all of these mini skirmishes that we're seeing out here, all favoring the Confederates. Because each kill is 3 or 5 skirmishing deaths. Who is that? Oh, it's Harkin. Okay.
What is that sound?
I know. I don't even know what that is. That's a, McPhail, what are you doing? How are you not dead? Chuck says up there. Oh my goodness, he kills the first Delawarean. McPhail almost got TK'd. The Senate. The Senate kills McPhail. Emperor Palpatine did it. So Confederates holding right on the outside. Union did not thwart them off. And now Confederates are charging it in here.
Here we go, gentlemen. Let's in.
Confederates actually went to taking losses. I didn't see when that happened.
Get up here, get up here.
Get in there.
But
Watch this.
Union is very bunched up and secure. So this is an opportunity for the Union to get ahead in tickets. Especially because you only have Confederates trickling in here. Which is going to be skirmishing and on-line deaths for the attackers. The bulk of the Confederate force is still coming, although there's a lot already here. So Union hopping up and over now. I don't think they should do this. Union just needs to sit back on their side of the berm, stay in formation, and like not take casualties. Again, I get what they're doing. They're trying to throw the Confederates out. However, by doing these actions, they're sending men in like this one. That's an out of line right there. That is my only critique. But then again, I get what they're doing. They're trying to throw them out. But it's a very high price to pay, unless they're trying to knock the Confederates down to final push. Union hits breaking. Not surprised. Like, all these guys here are skirmishing or out of line death, which is unfortunate. So, I like the Union game plan. It's just they need to be more clumped up when doing these actions and not so spread out. CSA, on the other hand, are doing what they need to do. They need to stay outside the brim, secure that position, and then slowly whittle down Union at one, which is what they're doing. So both sides are playing pretty decent. It's just the little things that make or break your team winning matches in a pub stomp. So Union is all basically back at their area, engaging the small Confederate force that is respawning. Confederates are mass coming in from spawn here. This game could go any way. Still, the Confederates have not broke the Union off their position yet. Every time the Confederates have gotten close, the Union has pushed them off. So again, this is still anybody's battle. I lean towards Confederates right now. However, it still could go anybody's way. Everyone's played a good game so far. That's really all I can say.
We can reload. Let's go back to the right.
Yep, Confederates probably reforming for a charge. There is a skirmisher group over here. Is this the 5th Tennessee sharpshooters? No, it's not. It's the 14th Tennessee. We saw these guys earlier kind of doing the same thing. They have absolutely beautiful shots on the Union line there. Sorry for the weird camera movement. Like, I'm just, like, look at this view. Phenomenal. You can't really get any better than Union shooting canister and actually getting a kill.
Okay, I can vaguely hear now.
Here they come. Confederates are charging in. I don't think that cannon mission over there is. They're still trying. You can see it on the right side. The Confederates are now charging in to the Union position. You can hear the chaos of battle. Sound pads are a thing of beauty in this game. This is what the Union needs to do. You can see how Confederates are slowly trickling over, like they were slowly trickling over when coming back. Which is exactly what the Union wants. They need to get the Confederates down to breaking. More Confederates now charging in here, pulling up against that berm. Union needs to charge out in order to successfully defend. Because look how many Union guys on the left here who are now charging in. Who's this? 83rd Pennsylvania. The 14th Tennessee were distracting the 83rd, which allowed for these main Confederate groups here to deal with a smaller Union force than they would with the 83rd. The Union is really preventing the Confederates from getting over. This is what the Union need right now. They are decimating the Confederates. They have a nice cover. Confederates are trying to get them. They're also avoiding skirmishing and out of line by not charging in. So, we're probably going to see the Confederates hit breaking within the next minute. And then we'll probably see, yeah, there we go. We're probably going to see the Union hit last stand probably within 5 minutes. If the Confederates charge. If this is, say, the shootout, it'll probably go to 8 minutes. But even then, this has been a very, very fast battle. really all they can be saved. Really, it's really if the Confederates are going to charge, which I don't think Confederates are going to have a really good charge for a while. They're just keeping up this action, trying to push Union on the last stand. Because if Confederates wanted to do a concentrated charge, they would have fallen back already. But they just keep spawning in and bonflying it all the way over here. And then once they get their bayonets and reloads going up to this berm here, where there's intense fighting. The 42nd is getting some nice flanking shots, and the Confederates don't really even focus on shooting them. The 42nd PA could move a little further forward, but then the Confederates would probably start focusing them, which is what you don't want. Still see 14th Tennessee in the distance there. Hitting shots. Actually, wow, last stand came a lot quicker than expected. So we're probably going to see the Confederates charge. That's what I would hope. Kill as many of them before you go in the final push. They need to charge as a team, though. You can see they're independently charging in. But for those of you who don't know, when the defending team hits last stand, if you died right before the last stand started, you will be able to respawn. But if you die afterwards, you're dead. You're done. You're never coming back. Look how much artillery is lined up right at this berm. And there's a lot of guys right in fire as well. The artillery getting 2 kills there, that shot. I don't think those shots hit anyone. I didn't see any flag systems here. Union's gotta hope. I think Union should charge. Possible. Actually, I don't know. Confederates are trickling into your line, so maybe not charge. That cannon shot got a kill. I'm intrigued to see English. I am intrigued to see when the Confederates will have final push, if they will. That's Union's last hope, is if the Confederates have final push. They will have a very limited time to take the point.
Good top, boys.
Gotta whittle them down.
42nd PA is probably going to be the last stand here, because that group in the middle is slowly being trickled by Union forces. Or Confederate forces, sorry. You can see they're slowly trickling in, killing those last couple Union guys. Confederates are kind of acting like they're on final push, where they're just non-stop charging in. You know? Is that all Union? All the Union is here. All of the Potomac is here.
Get ready, boys. Get ready.
Keep fighting it out, sir.
So 42nd has absolutely beautiful shots on these guys. They actually have better shots on these guys.
Spin those flags, doing good.
What I thought.
Right in front. Through that gap.
So,
Get ready, boys. Get ready, boys. Get ready. Get ready to use those bayonets, boys.
I think Confederates have this in the bag. There's no way Confederates can lose this. They haven't hit final push yet. Even if they did hit final push, I think they would move in and be able to wipe the 42nd. But we'll see. We'll see. 42nd PA really hasn't been battered at all by this Confederate force. And you can see still in the distance, Confederate respawns are trickling in to the point. I'm surprised the Confederates haven't hit final push yet. The Confederates probably not charging to avoid skirmishing them out of line, just trying to shoot them down in formation. Probably trying to regain their forces so that they can do one final charge and win this game. The whole Confederate team is essentially here now. You can see this right group, 5th NC is leading this charge. The last remaining group, 42nd PA, we'll see if they will move into charge. That cannon's facing the long range, unfortunately. Confederates hitting final push. So 3 minutes and 42 seconds. So that gives you enough time to go from your spawn 2.2 times without bayonets and reloads. I don't think they even matter. 42nd PA charging in with the rest of their team. And this will really do it for the round. Well done there by the Confederates. All I'll say is Confederates did their plan perfectly. They charged. They were aggressive. They charged together. That's really all I could say about the Confederate gameplay. They did what they needed to do to win. Union, on the other hand, I think they had a great defense. The only frustration was when they trickled out and were getting skirmished again on the line deaths. I think that's what killed them in the end. I like that they were trying to push the Confederates out of the berm. I think it was smart. It's what they need to do so that the Confederates couldn't do what they did at the end. However, maybe a little more discipline. But yeah, 2 good game plans. Fought well in my opinion. It was very enjoyable to watch. I cannot wait to watch this second round of this already very intense battle. You can kind of see the out of lines. Actually, Union is not getting a terrible amount of out of lines. More Confederates, which is surprising. But regardless of that, we'll see you in the next fight. Here we are with our second round on Maryland Heights. This will be interesting. So, as we could see, it's a very tree map. I don't know if you can tell. But, oh my goodness, look at these lines. They look beautiful. So, Union is just forming this big line. You're probably asking why they're going straight past the point here. Well, because the Union is able to go all the way up here.
Please no.
And the Confederates are going to try to hold these rocks and push down this hill to get to point. So the Union is pushing up there to prevent the Confederates from doing that. The Confederates, on the other hand, are trying to take those top rocks and do exactly what I just said. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do. Let's look at the attack prong here for the Confederacy. We have the I Corps moving up in front with Sussy Brigade and Pursuit. That's all you really need to know. You can kind of see the ordering of people with their tags. First, tell them, what are they doing?
Ooh, Chad. And then I was dancing to jazz, and I saw this girl. She came up to me, and she said, "Hey, now I suck your dick." I told her, "Yes, ma'am, you can." And then I was walking down the street. She sucked my dick, and then I became gay.
Okay, first Delaware doing first Delaware things. I was thinking that would go somewhere else. I was hoping it would go somewhere else halfway through. But yet, first Delaware. So, anyways, it looks like both sides are about to engage. Union setting up their positions. I'm appreciating Maryland Heights as a map more as time goes on. 83rd Pennsylvania, you can hear them say that they're coming, and here they are. Confederates should be aggressive like they were last time. They just need to charge in right away. Union is split into 2 different portions. We can see that there is the biggest portion here, and then another tinier portion holding down by a little farther down. No Unions on the point, mind you. So Confederates are all bunched up on the top here. You see 14th Tennessee, the sharpshooters, are sharpshooting. They're doing skirmisher things. But the whole Confederate team is here. They need to charge right now.
Been here, boys.
And this shit just like a battle pass.
So, the reason why this map is getting more appreciation is so the Europeans, they had their Gettysburg event, right? And they did little round top on this map, which is very cool. That's probably my favorite part of that whole movie that we made at Battle Line, which you should check it out. But also, it just looks like it. There's this close fighting on a hill, independent fire galore. It's absolutely beautiful. That's really what this map is. And even though it is a pain in the butt to go from spawn to the action, because if we look, right, we do have some Confederate skirmishers over here, but the Union spawn is all the way down there on the road. You see that like thing there where the cannons would go? It's all the way down there. They got a truck all the way up here to get over there. And you saw where the Confederates spawn. All the way over there, and they got to truck it over here. It's a pain in the butt to do. However, it's just fun fighting. That's really all I can say about that. So we have Sussy Brigade forming up to engage with this southern portion of the line. Actually, it's really just first Delaware. They're moving towards the point right now. Other than that, Confederates are really just shooting it out with the Union. They are not being aggressive like we saw last round, which again is very surprising. I would think that the Confederates would have been charged already. As we saw last round, these groups are very aggressive. They know the game well. So I'm a little surprised at that. But regardless, though, there's still a lot of matches to go. It can go anyway. The shootout just sucks for the attackers, especially at ranges like these, because it's very hard to hit someone, especially in the forest when everyone's behind cover. And then on top of that, if you do kill someone, they're $10 their information. Like, what's the Union line here? These guys are all standing up for the most part. Like, you do have a couple guys crouching, but all those guys that are dying, they're in formation. All these guys up here are standing in formation. So all it's going to be is 1 tick of death per person, which is going to be a very slow window of tickets. However, I just noticed, you probably saw, though, that the point is being capped by the 5th North Carolinian sharpshooters. I don't think they want to cap, so they are pulling off the point right now. I wouldn't mind the cap, especially with the lack of aggression by the Confederates. 14th Tennessee sharpshooter really pushing far forward here, engaging with these Union forces. So that is your overlook of the battlefield. This map is absolutely gorgeous. Like, it's just beautiful. It is kind of funny though, because if you go far enough away, you can kind of see where the map just kind of stops. Because what the developers did is they put a Google map. They went on Google Maps and just kind of pasted it down here, and then went off of that to make the maps, which is very, very smart, as we get very beautiful maps that look historically accurate, or at least modernly accurate. Historically accurate, modernly accurate.
Infinite fire,
I am not an English major. I don't like English. So I find this top position very interesting for the Confederacy, because you have this bulk of a back group, and then you have guys up here, my core guys, doing very close shots with the Union. I'm finding that a little surprising. The Confederates aren't being more aggressive, or if anything, are sticking together. Maybe they're just spreading out to get covered, because there's a lot of Confederates bunched up behind only a couple of rounds. So,
got your load ready, Doug.
so that all being said, really a matter of time. I think these sharpshooters, so you can see Union have to spawn all the way down this road, and just look how slow it is for them to get up the hill. I think that's what these sharpshooters are actually doing, is instead of trying to cap the point, they are just getting off Union respawn, which is not a bad idea. Those are out-of-line kills, which are huge for your team. Very, very slow round compared to last time. Not always a bad thing, you know. Charges are special if you have shootouts like these. Really, all that to be said. Let's look at the Union defensive position in the meantime. We have HT moving on the left side with the 42nd, 83rd to their right. And then up on the top of this hill, we have more of this division. On the Confederate side of things, we have I-Corps with some 5th NC here.
That's such a nice spot.
We can see more I-Corps shifting down here with more I-Corps. And then first Delaware being first Delaware. So that is really all that's happening. This is kind of a cool shot here. It's just intense, close fighting. This would be a perfect spot to flag.
There goes my hero.
Look at that. But close fighting. You can see those rebel skirmishers get thrown back a little bit. They're behind Union lines. It looks like they're more of a scouting role right now, as the Confederates try to shoot down the Union. We've gone 10 minutes into this match. No side has fallen down a stage. I am not too surprised there. So So, Confederates have to charge at some point, and if they do charge, they got to make it good. It cannot be halved team charges. Let's check out the skirmisher. That skirmisher just got an on-line kill. In formation, unless you're here. You saw that guy alt tab in his head, just like, oh my, that looked very uncomfortable. That his head turning. Oh my goodness. So Confederates doing what they have needed to do for a while, and they are now charging into this Union line. So really, Confederates are overwhelming because their whole team is pushing here. I wish I had a mountain right there. But their whole team is pushing here. Wiping the Union up front. Not surprised here. However, Confederates are also charging down on this bottom gate. We saw this last round too by the Confederates. They had two attacks, a bigger one and a smaller one. The smaller one hit a large Union force so that they couldn't reinforce the bigger group hitting the smaller force. I don't know if that was on purpose, but it's allowing these Confederates up top here to reform and block out the rest of the Union coming in here. I won't be surprised if we see teams hit engaged soon. Confederates not losing these flags as well is huge. Same with the Union. Flags are important on this map. We saw how far the spawns were from Maine. So,
Fucking polite.
so you can hear some wonderful music here. I hear you, Huck. I really wish out of bounds. I wasn't really here tonight. But look at that. Confederates hold miraculously. Both sides still have battle ready. You can still see some melee happening down here. Mostly them, though.
I got it. Where you at, boy?
Behind us, let's get these fights.
1v1, come on, 1v1. Oh,
you're dead. Come on, hey, Flag, just die. Come here, baby. I got him.
So Confederates actually completely wiping the Union and securing the top. Look how far the Union have to trot. Like, look at how far they have to go.
Oh, sorry, I don't see you with a rifle.
I feel like I just missed a special moment here.
It's the equivalent of a corked bat.
Kiss min.
Just follow the HD here. As
AJ, stop being a naughty boy and running.
South-southeast, south-southeast.
So, HD engaging. Going to be the first ones to engage the Union Force. We have Mr. 8 here, first lieutenant from the 18th Georgia, being the first people to come up here. Probably the first to be shot by this Confederate here, assuming he can aim. Which can he aim?
Some cloth, pick up some cloth.
I think he's just going to go let his men know about his presence. Let's check what the Confederates doing in the meantime. So, as I was talking about earlier in the game, Confederates have taken the top of this hill, and the point is just downhill from here. The Confederates just need to just push down here, and they will win. Union, while I think Union might charge these Confederates out. We saw them do it last round. However, it'll be very difficult.
That's Confederates. Hold.
Oh!
Oh, shit.
Go away, go
Yeah.
away.
So, we actually do have a Confederate force over here. Confederates kind of spread out right now. Well, 5th Florida is this group up here, getting some good shots, surprising the Union. I'm kind of surprised that Union guy was surprised that the Confederates were here, unless he didn't know the map. But Union holding down on these rocks. This could be so hard for the Union to take back, since the Confederates have taken it.
Get your cocks here.
Taking that top of the hill.
For dirty reds.
They are to our east.
All
my exes live in
That's
Texas.
where we were.
Texas is a place I dearly love to be. That's why I hang my hat in Tennessee.
4 kids.
Get ready, boys, kids.
These are the moments
Melee
of war rights that make it special. So, we do have a Union contingency, the 83rd. I don't know what they're doing up here.
Let's link up with our guys. Follow me.
Yeah. I'm shocked they haven't been hit yet. Eric is not... Eric, I know you want to get the flag, man, but you're going to die. MJVKO gets a beautiful kill there. Sorry for butchering your name in the first part. But yeah, so you can see Union's pushed down the point. Confederates have complete control of that high area, which is huge. There's a part of this map where you can get a beautiful overlook of the Harper's Ferry. I think it's right here. Or this overlook right here, which you can do in real life. If you go to Harper's Ferry, you should try to go to that overlook of Harper's Ferry. It's a 5-mile hike. It might be miserable because you have to trek up a couple hundred feet, but it's well worth it. The pictures are amazing. Or just buy War of Rights and walk up there in game. It looks just as good. So it's really just going to be an independent fire fest. Surprisingly, though, Union has not gone down to engage. We're almost getting to the 20-minute mark of this game, and the Union have done an impressive job of not going down to engage. But it's not like the Confederates have been overall aggressive. They've charged once, and they've won. The Confederates could easily come down and sweep the Union, which is what I think they need to do as soon as possible. Which, I want to go up here and see what they're thinking. Confederates are just inching down. It appears they want to shoot. Like, okay, like, look at the view that these guys get from these guys. Look how nice of a view they get. It's downhill too. You don't have to break your neck trying to look up. Anyway, let's look at. Actually, we do have Union really far up. But let's just go down to the bulk of these guys. Look at these guys trying to shoot up the hill. You can see them, but it is just harder shots. Also, it'll be much easier for the Confederates to charge because charging downhill is key. Let's get an overview of this. Like, you can see Confederates are beginning to shift left here. Maybe trying to flank around the Union here. That is my guess. Let's look at what group this is here. The 5th NC, led by C. Murphy.
Follow the sound of Taco's beautiful voice.
Smell the Murphy's asshole. You ain't close enough. Bonk.
You heard it there, folks. So, oh my goodness, Doug getting absolutely snipe off on the 42nd PA's officer. Beautiful shot on his part. Union, I don't know why the Union's going out this far. Maybe they're trying to flank the Confederates, but the Confederates are about to flank them. 5th NC comes. I don't know. I think 42nd realized they were there, and they got their full shots off before the 5th NC could respond. However, 42nd PA only hit a couple guys that I saw. I might be wrong, though. And this Union group, the 42nd PA, is very close to being cut off from the rest of their friendlies. Oh, the Rambo. So Union finally going down to engage. 20-some minutes into the battle. 22.
They're coming down.
Shit, no, 19. So 83rd is getting dangerously close to the AB. You know, like AB is getting dangerously close.
Move back, right.
You see more from the 1st Maryland.
Hey, you can't go right. You can't go to the left.
We can't go left. We can't go left.
Yeah, you have to fucking go right. Fuck it, we gotta unpush.
You can hear this is the border of the line for the Confederates here.
Just move up.
Their guys are charging in. AB can't go any farther left to try to flank them, so they're just moving closer and closer to them, trying to take shots here. Union trying to send more men over there to reinforce. I think that's a bad idea because these guys are all bunched up here. If Confederate gets a bullet in there, that's going to be a confirmed hit. Over on this side, that was really wonky. It looks like the 5th NC, or actually 1st Delaware is here. 1st Delaware doing 1st Delaware thing. I think they pushed off the 42nd PA. Here's 5th NC. I think they pushed off the 42nd PA. So, Confederates going down to engage. It's about a minute-and-a-half difference. Confederates need to charge again. They cannot wait patiently to keep knocking down the Union. I mean, 20 minutes from battle ready to engage is very, very slow in this game. So, they need to be aggressive again.
Can you see me?
Huh?
You see me?
I can see you, yeah.
You look so tiny on that rock.
I spawned on the flag. I'm on a rock.
So, in terms of the overview, you can really see how the 5th NC and 1st Delaware are actually more like 1st Delaware. Yeah, I don't know if they noticed the 5th NC flanking them. 1st Delaware is keeping half the Union team down. And now 42nd PA is responding to the 5th NC, and they are charging. They are downhill, might as well charge. My concern is the auto lines and skirmish, more like skirmishing down for this. The 42nd PA just charged and got wiped by the 5th NC. 5th NC looks untouched.
Fuck your officer!
Yeah, get him!
Fuck your officer! Come on, motherfucker, I'm an animal!
Oh my god.
Got him.
Kiss me, now you gotta kiss me.
Oh god, look at you, Yankee, you're dead. I seen you fall. How do you feel? You're fucking dead. That motherfucker didn't miss you.
I got him.
Now you're gonna do hellacious things to your body.
That sounds like a good time.
So, 5th NC is able to hold. They do have a flag, which is huge. A lot of close quarters fighting, at least on this right side here. Left side a little further shooting. But nothing too crazy. The 5th NC is going to be pinched here. If the 83rd and the 42nd, who are now going to be coming up here, they could easily pinch the 5th NC. 5th NC, realizing this, are now falling back off of those positions. Confederates, they need to charge at some point. I wonder how long they're going to wait before they charge. I don't know why they're waiting. You can probably get, like, every time Eagle says that the Confederates should charge on this map, you get a nickel. Probably get a lot of nickels. But that's honestly what I think they should be doing, because, I mean, again, we're so long into the match and you need to again, both sides, I think, doing a fantastic job with the CSA charge. But you see the 42nd PA, again, pushing really far out, trying to get Rambos. That's a mistake by the Union. Unless, I don't know where they're going. Unless they're trying to hold on these rocks.
Be careful.
Actually, they're pushing up to this.
Ramps in the road.
We're going to be holding up there. Actually, no, they're holding on to the ground. Trust the plan, you know? Trust in all of its wisdom. So, look at this beautiful map. 5th NC is reforming all the way back here. I don't know what they're waiting for, but anyway, we do have the Confederate. Is this 1st Delaware? It is 1st Delaware. It looks like they did some rising volleys. I don't even know if you can call that rising volleys, but they're running straight into Union respawns. This is what Confederates need. They need out-of-line kills. Of course, you might be saying, well, Confederates are getting out-of-line too. And you'd be right. But the important thing with that is that the attackers have way, maybe not way, but they have less tickets than the attackers. So out-of-line deaths are worth way more for the defenders' total percentage tickets than the attackers. Stuff like that is huge for them. So we're getting almost to the 20-minute mark here. 5th NC is beginning to move forward and be aggressive. I wonder if those groups are just more of a distraction so that 5th NC and the 1st Delaware can do things.
Do them anyway, that's the only way to find out.
Go.
I believe a charge is happening. Is a charge happening up top? Are the flags moving? They are. So a charge is beginning. I don't know why I say charge like that. A charge. Oh, Confederates now charging at the 20-minute mark. Huzzah to that. Union will probably hit taking losses with this charge. In terms of the top, Confederates are sweeping. Union is going downhill. I don't know if they're retreating or trying to hit the 5th NC, but Union is completely pulling off the point here. Very interesting, and that's gonna. If all of the Union stayed up top, they might have actually won this, because there's still a lot of Union up there. This is if Little Round Top was the other way around. Except, no, maybe it is historical. Just the hill is flipped, you know. Confederates are getting pushed back, kind of. This flag bearer is going to die. But both sides engaged. Confederates are capping point. Confederates inch forward again, and they have retrieved rocks. And Charlie Brown.
You're in the way of a rock. Get your fucking dirty hands off of our rock, or I'll spit on you.
That flag.
Our rock. You're now
Lord on me. Lord on me. On my voice. Lord on my voice.
Actually, anyone from Fort Texas can stay.
No,
Texas is a good state.
how the rock.
Yeah,
don't listen to fucking Red. This is our fucking rock. Yeah, that's not how the rock works.
Mission assassinate Red.
Get your bearings, gentlemen. While you wait.
I don't want them to fight over
I'll
rocks.
do it myself.
We do have some skirmishing occurring on these rocks. Confederates do cap point. They're trying to force the Union to come up and fight them in lower tickets, because that's what the Confederates need, the lower tickets right now. They cannot... A Union pulled back, probably trying to avoid casualties and force them to cap. But... yeah, Confederates are forcing the Union to come at them and lower the tickets, because that's what they need. They need, I mean... 19 minutes and Union's still being engaged on a map, or more like 18 minutes, is insanely good for the defenders' cause.
Y'all better.
So they're pushing more forward towards these rocks. We can't see a charge happening down here. Is this first Delaware? It is. First Delaware getting out of line kills, which is huge. The only thing, though, right, is Confederates are ahead on tickets. So, if the Confederates lose this half, which I don't think they will, the Union will go up tickets. That is my guess. Because Confederates are getting a lot of more out-of-line kills. I think Confederates are going to try to hold and win this game. Really, just close, point-blank fighting occurring. Here on these rounds.
Boys, they're just sitting there on the other defilade like they're friends of yours. Shoot them.
Look at the Union view. Back to our frontline reporter here.
Careful of enemy Rambos.
Kind of hard to see them, you know. You can't see them, but you just see their heads. In terms of the Confederate view of the Union line.
Oh my God, it's a lie.
They can barely. They're really just. This is just a slugfest. Union's gonna have to charge at some point. I wonder when they will charge. A lot of Confederate spawns coming through here and hitting a lot of Union respawns. Union mass retreating here. And the Union, smartly so, is charging out the Confederates. Because the longer this goes, it's going to bring the ticket count down for the attackers, and they won't be able to regain as many tickets. If that's the case, Confederates need to try to hold this. Union's playing the smash throw, so Union's going down to taking losses. You might think that's terrible, but no. Union's going to retake the point here, and they are going to go back up to engage, because they regain, they go back to the total percentage of tickets that the attackers are at. So point is still being uncapped here. Those Union guys that retreated down there just showed up, and now more Confederates are pushing up from the general Union spawn. C. Murphy leading 5th NC. Confederates might actually be able to... No, they won't. Union has a mass. I didn't realize they had this many men up here. They probably have flags too that are spawning in men as we speak. So Confederates just need to mass charge right now to make sure Union can't regain as many tickets. Out of line, it doesn't matter. Knock both sides down to taking losses. That's what you need to do. Which 5th NC is holding back. Maybe they're cutting off Union respawns, getting those out of lines, which could be a huge possibility. But a lot of Confederates are over here. Again, it takes like 2.5 minutes to get over there. So unless the Union charges 5th NC, or 5th NC charges the Union, which I don't think 5th NC will, they're highly outnumbered. Probably just going to be sitting around for a couple of minutes. Maybe shooting might start. And time Will tell. Union recaps. They go back up to engage. See Murphy. They are now moving forward. So here's the thing. They could start dealing more damage again and not have a punishment for it, what I think the 5th NC is doing. We can see the Union doesn't know that the 5th NC is about to roll up on them. Yeah, Union is pushing up to reclaim the top of the hill, and 5th NC is going to get a clear route at these out of lines.
Running back.
Look at that.
They're running, boys. They're scared of you.
Keep going, 5th NC.
Get your stamina, boys.
Cover 5th NC.
So they need to, it looks like they're just going to hold that here. Right on point. It's going to force the Union to come right back down the hill. Hood taking some shots with his pistol here. Getting a kill. Well done. But yeah, 5th NC gets right back on the point. They're pulling back down.
Hey, Yankee right there. Come here.
I think they're trying to get out of lines.
Come here.
You little fuckhead. Fuck you, Yankee.
Kill him. Yeah, kill this Yankee.
So, with that all being considered, looks like a majority of the Confederates are actually reforming in the 5th and see what regiment is here. Oh my goodness, the first Delaware.
That's a whole regiment.
Friendlies.
Of course, it's the Hans Legion.
Union didn't taking losses, so that means Confederates are probably pretty close. We could see that a majority have 2 prongs here. 1 prong is going straight for the point. The other prong is going up to what I presume is to distract the Union. Cheeto leading this. Not surprised at all. I think that's a good idea. Or at least, I don't know if they're going to charge, but at least they're going to be shooting and forcing the Union to stay up there while the Confederates cap point. This is risky. Although the counterattack will only be 7 minutes because they're at taking losses. For those of you who don't know, if the defenders are at battle ready, the first stage, it's a 20-minute counterattack. If the cap engaged is 12, taking losses, which I think is about to happen, it'll be a 7-minute counterattack. And Union is letting this happen. Very, very risky here. This is very, very risky for both sides. Union does not have a lot of time to retake it. They need to charge. They need to be aggressive, which they are. Smartly done there on the Union's part. This is risky for the Confederates because if Union is really aggressive, they can knock in the last stand because the point flips. They are now the defenders. But also it's risky because Union could go up and tie Confederates in tickets and then start to beat them a little bit and force the Confederates in the final push before they hit last stand. So yeah, this is a very tight game. It's very, very risky for both sides. More Union appearing to be on the top here. So yeah, Union does have the advantage of being on the high ground. Look at all that. I mean, it's also kind of hard to see.
Top of the road.
You can kind of see him.
I won't
That's the
die like
hotel.
that.
There. So let's see. Where are there any Confederate respawns? So Confederates mostly coming from this camp here, which their spawn is over here, which means they trucked all the way around here and then went up top here. They didn't go straight that way, which is interesting, right? But I do not know what this Confederate force is doing all the way over there. If it's to distract the Union, maybe. But Union's not going to be focused on you soon. They're going to be charging the point. I would hope anyways. So, Union is actually pulling off to engage with this Confederate force. They probably don't want them to come behind, but I'm kind of surprised that the Union isn't charging points.
Scarce the rocks.
Confederates finding some rocks and they're going to be in the Confederate. Look how much that tiny Confederate force has pulled off half the Union team. I could maybe understand like a tiny reg to go up and deal with these Confederates, but throwing now 3/4 of your team to deal with that is insane with a 5-minute counterattack remaining on this point. Very, very risky. Again, they might be thinking something that I don't know. However, it looks sus from above. Be something to ask.
Okay.
Yeah, we got bodge angles. I think it's good.
All right, jump.
So Union is beginning to charge here. They're charging right at this Confederate force. They're probably going to wipe these guys out and push down towards the bottom of the hill. 4-minute counterattack remaining here. Union is easily going to be able to wipe this, and this is good for the Confederates. It's driving everyone's tickets down.
Damn right, it's around Johnny Red.
So, with that being said, 4 minutes on the counterattack. A little less now. For the Union to retake. Union has a man advantage because of that wipe. That Union's going to be coming down from the top of the hill and pushing the Confederates off the hill. That would be my guess. And then we're going to see the Union. The Union's going to back off. They're not at breaking yet. They're not going to stay on point. So, here we go. Here we go.
I'm actually blind in my left eye. I don't have one.
Let's see if they notice the Union that's about to charge right on
Getting
them.
ready for a charge. How far?
They're coming northeast!
Look northeast!
What?
You heard that guy say, get ready for a charge? And right as he says that, Union is pouring straight into the Confederates.
Look southeast. Look southeast.
Watch your left. Watch your left. Watch your left. Watch your left.
And you can see that the Union on top as well are now charging in. I don't know. This is going to be a close charge here. I think Union should have it. All things considered, 2.5 minutes, 2 3/4 minute rather, on the clock. Interesting. So, I want to scroll out a little here. It's kind of hard to tell in the woods because of all the trees. You can't really get a good angle on anything. But both sides still having a decent force on their Confederates not getting pushed off. Well done to them for still holding off. The Union pushes. Fine. The Confederates have flags though.
Took our flag
They have
over
two
there.
flags, which that's huge. That's they end their in formation. 10 men every second. McPhail still here, getting a kill out of line. The Confederates still have full control of the point.
Dead. Fuck you, Confederate.
Yeah, screw you then. Screw you. Dumb fucks. I killed like 4.
Back to point.
Union getting on point, thinking that there are no Confederates left. Never mind, they know they're there.
Officer coming up. Keep this damn officer. Keep this damn officer.
Got the officer. So 5th Florida still has control of the point. Let's look and see in terms of reinforcements. Union trekking along. Confederates are going to get there first with their reinforcements, though. Confederates are going to win the game here. They haven't lost a melee. You know, it looked like they were going to lose this last melee, but they won. They survived. So I won't be surprised.
Let's go! Whoa,
Friendly.
So Confederates are able to get there in time. 1 minute left. This is the game here. The Union needs to charge and win to win the game. Even if they retake the point, I doubt Union will win this overall. Where are the Union respawns? There they are.
Million freemen more, shouting the battle cry of freedom. The Union
Go. Let's contest.
Down with the traitors and up with the stars. Shouting the cry of freedom.
Beautiful rendition there. 20 seconds left. Confederates countercharging, making sure Union can't get on the point and start an overtime. There's equal bodies on point. If the team that's trying to retake the point has more bodies on point than the now defending team on point, when the yellow timer there hits 0, or when the black timer hits 0, it hits overtime, and the game will continue for a while, but it did not because Confederates had overwhelming majority on the point. Confederates dominating the Union this round. Really well done for the Confederates. They were aggressive. They did what they needed to do. They won the game. They maybe took a while to get moving, but they were winning every charge. So it made the fact that they were waiting a while to do something a lot less harmful to their team. In terms of the Union defense, Union did a pretty good job for the most part. They weren't aggressive at this last counterattack that let the CSA win. They should have been moving into attack right away. They should not have gone off for that one Confederate group and then pushed down to the point at the end. Instead, they went off for that Confederate group. Yeah, that's really it. Well done, both sides. Entertaining 2 rounds. With that being said, we'll see you in the post-game interview. But before we get to that, here is the overview of the campaign map after tonight's battles. 3 out of the 4 pieces got wiped tonight, except for the Sussy Brigade's piece, which is probably why we didn't see them as aggressive during the second round, to make sure they wouldn't lose their piece. And with that being said, I hope you enjoy the post-game interview. So here is the post-game interview for the NA House Divided campaign. We had 2 rounds. One was on Boulevard Heights Redoubt, which the CSA won pretty through and through, and then Maryland Heights, which the CSA won as well. We have leaders from tonight's event to talk about strategy and more. So that being said, let's start by introducing everyone on the CSA campaign. We have Cheeto.
Yo, what's up, fellas? It's Major General Cheeto in charge of Anderson Brigade, which is part of I-Corps. And still, once again, Goon Dog's daddy.
Thank you. And next, we have Goondog.
Goondog, 6 Georgia, Walker's Vision. Shout out to my boy Booch in lockdown. Maybe one day.
Thank you. Next, we have C. Murphy.
What is up, guys? Major C. Murphy of the highly esteemed 5th North Carolina, Lieutenant General of Sussy Brigade. That's all.
Thank you. Next, we have Scott.
What's up, guys? Major General Scott of the Sussy Brigade. Murphy's capping. He's not really a lieutenant general. He's just mad that I'm above him.
And then, last but not least, we have McPhail.
Hey, what's up? Commander-in-Chief of Sussy Brigade. Justice for Booch.
All right. Thank you. And then for the USA campaign, we have Ajax.
How's it going, guys? I'm captain for 5th Texas, Company H for Hoods Division.
All right, cool. Shanks, did you want to come up before I start asking questions? I don't know. Did you want to do this, Shanks? Were you there tonight? Oh, okay.
Answer was there, I'm pretty sure.
All right, I'll just move that down then. All right. All right, cool. So I'll just start asking questions. I'll just cut that out. So the first round tonight, Boulevard Heights Redoubt, CSA was attacking. They won. So CSA, what was your strategy going into that round, and how did you react to the ever-changing battlefield?
So I got this, boys. As the leading commander of Sussy Brigade, I would like to say that our plan was flawless. We were going to shift to the far left for our initial attack, and we were going to push into the redoubt from that far left side, typical CSA strategy. Then we shifted our efforts to the center, and as we shifted into the center, we still had heavy engagements, and then eventually we bled their tickets down to where they were at last stand, and we capped the point and got a quick dub. Easy day.
Any other CSA?
Yeah, I think it's just normal readout play on that one. Just try to get that foothold. I think the Union did a pretty good job. I think they took some chances by coming out of the berm a couple times. Maybe done that a couple of times too many. But I thought they did pretty well. We bounced off of them a couple times, but in the end, we just kind of, the numbers just kind of went in our favor.
Yeah, you just gotta keep stacking bodies up there. Keep pushing, keep the pressure up. And you don't lose your flags, don't get wiped. And if you can hold those left and center, you pretty much got that map. So coordination, working well with the other teams. I know Sussy and I-Corps did really well with that. When we did the pushes, everybody was on point. So it was just communication and putting the numbers in the right spot. So that's really about it on that map.
All right. Sounds good. Ajax, representing the USA campaign. From your perspective, what was your guys' strategy going into Boulevard Heights readout, and how did you guys react to the ever-changing battlefield?
So basically, the main point of our defense was just to keep all main infantry for hoods in that corner, react as 17th needed, either shifting down, which is CSA far left, which is our far right, and trying to take them. We tried to wipe them out early by going out into the berm. We did this multiple times throughout the match. I feel like every time that we did it, it kind of got a little sloppier, a little more strung out, and that's kind of what cost us in the end. But more or less, it was just kind of mirroring where the CSA was coming up and over and trying to defend that spot in the end game, and we just weren't able to keep that foothold.
All right, cool. Thank you. So now moving on to our second round, Maryland Heights CSA was attacking. What was your guys' strategy going into that round, and how did you react to the ever-changing battlefield?
Take the high ground. Get them in a bowl. Keep shooting. Keep pushing. Keep the pressure up again. If I can get those tickets down, and then when it was time to cap the point. But this worked well. Keep pushing, and just getting those tickets. That's basically it in a nutshell on that one.
Yeah, as an admin of the Sussy Brigade server, which Scott's not, I think we stayed up on the rocks on the top, and then we shot down into them at first, and then after a while, we're like, okay, let's charge them out. So we did, and then towards the end there, we were on the point, and we had, I think, 5th NC hit them in the rear with 1st Delaware, and then they actually kind of distract them enough that they thought, I think, that we were a bigger force down on the point, and I would like to know why they didn't charge us, because we were a lot smaller. I thought they eventually did charge us, but I think if they had charged us sooner, we probably would have gotten wiped and they would have taken the point.
Yeah, just to add to that, 5th North Carolina, 1st Delaware is not with us. If we're thinking of the same time frame, we moved up to the Union's flank just to kind of pressure it and keep them off of you on point, and it worked. We shot them for a bit, and then I'm pretty sure they sent a large majority of their team to wipe us out. We did what we could, but we held long enough for the rest of the team to reinforce, so it ended up working out in the end. At the expense of 5th NC.
I think you guys were fighting the 42nd PA a lot. A lot of those engagements were that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also it was good whenever we'd get on to when we'd try to hold the point. Shout out to 36 and 4th Texas. As soon as we'd get, overran or something, Sussy or somebody else be right there, or 1st Georgia. So we had a pretty good strat on that one.
All right. Thank you. Ajax, what was the USA campaign strategy to defend the map, and how did you guys react to the ever-changing battlefield?
Basically, right off the bat, it was just kind of try to hold the high ground as long as we could. Then once Cap started getting point, that's kind of when we started breaking down. We shifted a small force down with one of the other units we were playing with to kind of wipe out point, but ended up just kind of being a firefight from there on out. I don't actually remember if we ended up winning that one or not. Ended up getting charged out on the top, losing it, lost that high ground, which was the start of the downfall. Then it came to the fight under the point. With them having the high ground, it was hard to keep shots up, anything else, and with them coming down onto us with dwindled numbers, basically wiped us in the end game. We tried to hold that back end rock, ended up keeping somewhat of a foothold right up until the end. Cycled up back to the top and still couldn't hold it down there. We ended up wiping what was up top right there before the end, but on the circle back down to point, we ended up losing majority of our forces and was not able to retake the point, which caused the CSA to keep the point and win it by running out the timer. So,
only question I had is about that last counterattack. You guys sent a majority of your team up to the top of the hill to wipe a small Confederate force and then go down, but then right before that, you spent like 1.5, 2 minutes shooting. Were you guys just trying to weaken them on point? Like, make sure no Confederates are behind you? Why did it take you guys so long to get down to point in a counterattack?
So the initial, I'm not in the grand strat of things, so the thought processes may not be the same for me. Then again, Hoods wasn't calling the shots neither. Hoods was sent to mirror the unit heading up. Couldn't necessarily see numbers. We just saw a decent force. Moved up to the top, charged that unit out, and then by the time that I guess the communication got back around, the US or the CSA had pushed most of their I guess 90% of their unit to the point, in which we had to do a whole transition down. They had already wiped the other 2 units that were on point for us. So, and then given what we lost in the charge, by the time we made it down there, they had their foothold and were able to get shots off into us before we successfully made it into the point. So, not sure what the thought process behind it was, why everybody went, but we were hoping to kind of, I guess, wipe the point, and there was one less unit for us to worry about, or worrying about getting stabbed in the back on our way into point. But either way, it did cause our downfall in the end game. With that large transition time, all the way up and down, it gave the CSA enough time to push on a point, wipe what we had, and then gain their foothold, which they held to the end of the match. So it was good on them.
Yeah, and that's kind of the cool thing is like I get an overview and I see one perspective, but then I don't know what's happening on your guys' end, and so that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, does anyone have any questions or comments they wanted to say for tonight?
I would like to compliment the Union side for one very, very good fight that was very bloody on both sides on both maps. It was a very, very hard event to win as far as tickets, and they really put a dent into us, that's for sure. Made us work for it.
Yeah, right back at the CSA. You know, it was a fun match regardless of the loss, but we appreciate everybody playing it out. It was a lot of fun on our side. I know our guys still had fun, and we appreciate everybody for keeping respect on the battlefield. Something that Hoods has always looked forward to, playing other respectful units. So, GG's to everybody all around for everybody that came together and played on the CSA and handed us our ass in the end game.
I guess I got a question for you, Ajax.
Yes, sir.
On boulevards, when we did 2 hits on the left side, and then we did like the third one, we kind of split a little bit. One side hit the center from the upper part, and then one hit from the lower part. Did you guys see that coming, or did you thought we were gonna hit the left again?
We actually, I know exactly what you're talking about. We kind of figured you were going to go all the way down left. So by the time that unit had cut from the left to the middle and came into us, we were actually pretty spread out, with most of our units being congested all the way left. So you were able to pretty much semi-wipe behind us and get most of us in the back. So, that was good on y'all's part. Something that we didn't necessarily see coming. We kind of figured that you were just going to full send left again. So that was good thinking on y'all's part.
All right, cool. Yeah, I would agree with the. It was a fun, good fight to watch. Very bloody, very aggressive. I appreciated it a lot. It was good. So yeah. With that being said, everyone in this post-game interview will have a social media link in the description. If they want one there, check that out. Also, all the regiments that participated in this event will also be in the description. Join them. Lots of fun. The NA House Divided campaign Discord will be in there if you want your regiment to join that too. The more the merrier, the bigger battles we can get. And yeah, please like, comment, share, subscribe for more. Join our Discord, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Scott, do you have anything you want to say?
Cue the music!